After checking out the recent edition of Top Rank Boxing's Blood, Sweat, and Tears pre-fight featurette for Shakur Stevenson against Edwin De Los Santos, I thought I would come up with a little review of that for myself and the viewers of my channel and the content that I produce. It was an interesting account of the two fighters as they prepare for their showdown this Thursday. However, the checks and balances were not equal. And to explain what I mean by that is, Stevenson was profiled as an accomplished fighter and champion, going for his third title against De Los Santos. But almost as a foregone conclusion. Now, no one outright dismissed Edwin Santos, De Los Santos, and what he's bringing into this fight. However, if you take a closer look at what these two men have accomplished and the roads that they have traveled to get to where they are, you may want to take a closer look at De Los Santos. He's a fighter that is coming into this match hailing from the Dominican Republic, but he is an accomplished contender, not yet a title shot, and this fight is a holy grail type situation for himself. When you consider who the stakes are being waged against, Shakur Stevenson, a former Olympian, silver medalist, who's an undefeated fighter at the age of 26. De Los Santos is 24. They're both southpaws, and they both stand roughly around 5'8". I believe De Los Santos may have a 2-inch reach advantage at 70 inches. The comparisons should not stop there. However, when you think about trial, when you think about being tested in the professional ranks, De Los Santos has had something going for himself that many people may be very dismissive of. He's been dropped. He has one loss by split decision on his record. That loss came to William Foster III in January of 2022. I do believe Shakur Stevenson has pretty much had an advantage with the familiar names he's faced over his past year and a half, 2 years of competing. Shakur is the kind of fighter that, given the opportunity, he will show the merit of a champion. He has a skill set that cannot be denied. The kid can truly box. But has he yet defeat all comers and all styles? Absolutely not. In fact, I think the style that De Los Santos brings to him is something that he has not seen yet in his career. Well, what do you mean by that, Stormy? De Los Santos is a fluid boxer, also a southpaw with fast hands. He has good feet, meaning he can get in and out of range fluidly. He knows how to circle. He knows how to give angles. He knows how to punch going forward and definitely punching in retreat. He throws punches in combination. And did I mention that he has quite the pop on the punches that he throws? He showed resolve in his fight of September of 2022 against Jose Valenzuela that saw him dropped early after being a bit careless in exchanges in the second round of that fight. He went on to immediately drop Valenzuela himself moments later, and in the very next round he stopped Valenzuela. Shakur has had the luxury of facing fighters that are not necessarily gifted with footwork. Victories over fighters like Yoshino Kansekyao, Valdez, even Jamel Herring, as well as Jeremiah Nakatila. All of those fighters suffered from something where Shakur had an advantage. He had the advantage in footwork and mobility. Most of them stood right in front of him. Most of them looked to try to load up with shots where he was easily able to pick them off with his defensive ability. Trapping shots, blocking shots, warding shots off of the shoulder, slipping counters, pulling counters. Places where he was very advantageous on the athletic side. This opponent coming Thursday is of a different ilk. And there has not been enough talk about the seriousness of what Edwin brings in this fight. Because it's a major, big event. What you may want to think about is how he handles that. This is his Olympics. This is his chance at a world title. But imagine the dreams that could be achieved with victory. There have been circumstances that have seen melanated fighters not get the credit that they deserve. And especially when you come from places like Cuba, Puerto Rico, and now the Dominican Republic, because numerous fighters are coming and growing coming from the Dominican Republic. And some of them have come up with good teaching and being versed in watching what has been successful for fighters. And some of them are very hungry. Stevenson has done a lot of talk, thinking about Devin Haney, talking about Tank Davis, but not fighting fighters that are on that level, or even those very fighters themselves. So, he would be behooved to put on a type of performance this coming Thursday against this particular contender that will make others take notice. If he's incapable of doing that, all of that talk, the rhetoric, the lack of focus will not be forgotten, and it will not be unsung. Shakur Stevenson is favored in this fight, as well as he should be. But if you for one moment don't believe that Edwin De Los Santos is a live wire in this fight and could provide the proverbial banana peel for Stevenson to slip upon, you may want to think again. This fight could be very close, but the separation would be if Santos is able to land on Shakur's chin, which has yet to truly be tested in a professional match. We're not talking about sparring in the gym. We're not talking about whom he may have worked out with. We're talking about live in front of the audiences where it's for the bag. And sometimes when fighters run across that type of difficulty, there may be circumstances where they're asked questions and they need to be prepared to answer them. And I'll be watching for that, because it's one of the tests that Shakur has not yet had on his exam. De Los Santos has had his, and I'm certain he's willing to share what he's learned with Stevenson. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about this fight coming up. It should be a heck of a matchup, right up there with the rest of what's transpired in 2023. I can't wait, and I know what I'm looking at. But do you? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.